Welcome. I'm Maureen DiStallo, and we're continuing our series of getting to know your trustees. And I have the pleasure of being with Sam Carollo today. Sam, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Thank you for being with us. You know, some people are not very eager to go before the TV camera, so I'm so pleased that you said yes. So tell us about yourself. First of all, how long are you here in the village?
Well, I moved in 2019. I actually bought the place in 2018, did a lot of renovations, took me a year, and in August of 2019 I moved in.
Very good. So that's what, 7 years?
Yeah, 7 years.
My arithmetic still
Still sharp.
Still showing, right? Now, where'd you come from?
Well, I grew up in Bloomfield. My wife grew up in Newark. And we met in that area. When we married, I moved to Bergen County in New Milford. And then after our kids were born, we came down to Freehold. Bought a nice house in Freehold. And then when the kids were done, they moved out, then we looked for a new place to live, to downsize. And we found that Leisure Village West met all our needs.
So how did you find Leisure Village West?
Well, we were looking around at other places, like the Four Seasons and
Right.
those kind of places. They were big, they were expensive, and my wife and I decided that, we loved our house, and if we were going to spend that kind of money, we'll just stay where we were.
Right.
And we didn't want to do that because it was just too big.
Right.
So our friend Mindy, who lives here, she, when she moved in, we came to visit her and all, and we really liked it. Then she started showing us around and explained a little bit about the village. And I said to my wife, this looks like a great place.
Right.
And we just started looking, sold our house right away, and
And the rest is history.
the rest is history. Yeah.
That's wonderful. So tell me, what did you do before what was your career?
Well, I started as a teacher. I taught English and history in an all-boys vocational high school. I worked my way through all different positions, beyond teacher.
Right, right.
And eventually became the principal at the Newark Vocational and Technical High School on West Market Street in Newark. Interesting job, interesting place.
Yes, I'm sure.
Yes, it was.
That's inner city.
And as inner as you can get. It is.
That's a challenge.
It is a challenge, but you know what? Our kids were good because they were the kids that wanted to come there
Right.
because it was safe. Some of the Newark schools were having issues, and
Oh, yeah, how sad.
yeah, it is sad. And so our kids, came to us and actually learned some great careers.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, when I moved into Freehold, they forgot to put a light over the back door, over the sliding door, on the,
Oh, right, yes.
and I said to the builder, I said, listen, I'll just have it done, don't worry about it. And I called an electrical company from Monmouth County, and the kids that showed up was one of the kids that graduated from Newark Tech. And he was like amazed. He goes, what are you doing here? I said, I got the same question for you. How would you get down there? So it was interesting.
And that's a very nice, I'm sure, feeling to know that you helped this man on his career.
Yeah.
And he's a success. He's having a successful life.
When I was a teacher, I had several students who became very, very successful. One in particular was, he was a handful, to say the least. But he was very bright. He was very smart. And I told him, with your intelligence, you got to stop fooling around and you got to get to college. And he said to me, he said, Mr. C, I can't afford to go to college. My family cannot afford to go to college. I'm going to be a tool and die maker for the rest of my life. And I said to him, it's the 1980s. There's nothing going on in the world. Why don't you join the Army? Let them pay for your education. And he did. 9 years later, I was principal at Newark Tech, and my secretary came in. She goes, "You're never going to guess who's out here in the lobby." I said, "Who?" And she told me, and it was that young man. And he came in and was all dressed in black leather with a helmet. He rode his motorcycle over. And we talked for 2 hours. And then finally I said to him, "Alex, you didn't tell me what you do." Well, he says, "I'm a lawyer." I said, "You're a lawyer?" He says, "Yes, I am." He said, "The Army paid for my education and went to law school. I'm working at a firm, but I don't like it. So what are you going to do?" And he said, "I'm going into occupational therapy."
Oh.
He got a PhD in occupational therapy, and he became one of the supervisors at the city colleges in New York, in Staten Island.
Another success story.
Long Island,
yeah.
Yeah. And he wrote me a beautiful letter detailing
Right.
how much I helped him in his
Right,
life.
right, right.
It really brought tears to my eyes. It was.
Oh, I think teachers are so underpaid because they are so important, but they also come out of their career with wonderful awareness of how they touched children's lives,
Yep.
But,
And you know what? The kids have a tendency to touch your life also.
oh, definitely.
It's amazing how.
Oh, definitely. I understand that completely,
Yeah. It was,
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Good.
And then I finished up in Howell. I took the assistant principal's job in Howell, and I wanted to do the assistant principal's job because the principal's position, you're just too far away from the kids at that point.
Right.
And I wanted to get back to dealing directly with the students. So I loved my 14 years at Howell as the assistant principal.
Right. I've heard that before.
Yes.
Really, you get to a certain age and you've known a lot of people in your life, and a number of people who have gone on to being principal, they want to go back into the classroom. They want more, they're tired of dealing with paperwork and bureaucracy and parents.
Yeah.
So tell me, what about your family?
Well, my wife is Michelle, very bright woman. She worked for 34 years, 33 for 34 years as, in the county of Essex. She eventually, she was at one point the executive assistant to the county executive, and she then took over the workman's comp program for the county of Essex. They used to outsource their workman's comp, and she took it over. She had the unique distinction of saving the county over $2 million on her first year.
Oh, wow.
So she was,
Wait a minute, should she be on the board?
maybe. I think she should. But
We'll run her.
yeah, she's very sharp, and she learned law, she learned medicine,
Right.
all while doing workman's comp. She
Right.
worked
Oh,
with,
yeah.
with a lot of doctors and a lot of
Right.
lawyers, and there was one particular thing. I don't know exactly what it was, what the problem was, but one of the lawyers called her from court, and he said to her, the judge, here's what the judge wants to do. And she says, no, you go back in there and you tell the judge that he cannot do that. And she gave him the case law to prove why he couldn't do it. And apparently it was something that was done for many years. Well, the judge wound up saying to the lawyer, you're absolutely right. We've been doing this wrong.
Ah.
So she changed that whole process. She really was amazing in her career.
Yeah.
So.
We have, really and truly, we have so many interesting people here in our village, and I love to get to know them and get to hear their stories. And
so I always tease her because, and she retired, kept working for the county as a consultant, and then a friend of mine who was an accountant said to her, I need some help in my office, just 1 day a week. So she felt bad saying no, so she went in, and 1 day a week went to 5 days a week.
Right.
During tax season, and she wound up doing taxes.
Okay.
So, and she's a whiz at it. She
Right,
really
right.
is. So when our friends call up for various you know, whatever.
Right.
I asked him, are you calling for the doctor, the lawyer, or the tax consultant?
So tell me about what you've done here in the village before becoming I know that you also volunteer at a hospital.
I do. I volunteer at Central State Hospital. I love it. I love it there.
And how much time do you give
Well, I
them?
just do 1 day a week.
I see.
Because the amount of walking I do during the day there is quite extensive.
Right, right.
And you know, it's really hard at my age now.
So how many hours a week do you give to the board?
Probably about, I would guess about 15 or so, you know, conservative.
So you have 2 part-time jobs.
I do. But the hospital is really, I mean, when I retired from my career, I went to work at the hospital as a transporter.
Oh, I see.
And, you know, I lasted 2 years, you know, but it was tough.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
a tough job. You know, people can't walk, you got to pull them over onto stretchers. And so
Yeah, hard on your back.
it was hard on everything.
Yeah.
So I asked my supervisor, I says, listen, this is getting too much for me. Can I just be a volunteer?
Right.
And just do wheelchairs? And he says, sure, absolutely. So that's what I do now.
Okay. So you're a busy man.
I am. I get to the hospital I'm supposed to work from 10 to 2. I get there usually around 9:15.
Okay.
And it's just nonstop.
Right.
Until
Now, as a trustee, and you put in 15 hours a week, are you a coordinator with one of the committees?
Finance committee,
Oh, the finance committee. Okay.
liaison.
That's right, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
liaison. Had the wrong word, sorry.
No, please, I don't want to be coordinator.
Okay.
Pat Hansen has a tough enough job.
Yeah, right? And what other activities do you do here in the village?
Well, I used to play ping pong quite often, not so much now because I've had a shoulder problem, but bocce, I still play bocce. My pickleball ended with my knee surgery.
Oh, yes.
You know.
That'll happen.
Yeah, it happens.
Yes.
I drove for Viston for a while, but now I kind of told them, you know, I won't do any more jobs because now I'm doing, one of our residents doesn't drive and has to get to dialysis. So I take her twice a week.
Right.
Every Tuesday and Thursday.
Right.
And
Yeah, that's enough.
yeah, I pick her up in the morning and we laugh the whole way to
Right.
the dialysis where she's a character and a half.
Right. It's really amazing when you put yourself out there and you meet people. You know, these great relationships happen, you know. I know my husband, we arranged, he was on dialysis for a number of months before he passed, and I was still working. So I had to get somebody, and I got somebody from the county, one of those little jitney, and he was very reluctant to go on that. He wanted me to take a day off from work, and you know,
Right.
a little bit of conflict there. After he got on the bus, he was the only one. He and the bus driver got to be really great friends. I said to him at one time, wait a minute, I'll take a day off and take it. I don't want you to take me. I want to go with my friend Richie.
That's good.
So, you know, it's really a marvelous thing to volunteer like that.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
mean, you know what, Maureen, when you think about it, I was in a service position my
That's
entire
right,
life.
yes.
You know, so it just comes very natural. Mm-hmm. You know, and the same thing with being on the board. You know,
Right.
it's being a servant. You know, you want
Right.
to. The reason I wanted to get on the board was to make sure that people here get what they need, and you know, and try to do the best for everyone.
Right.
Which is very, very difficult
Well,
to do.
it is, because, you know, you start to get into the finances of it.
Yeah, well, that's, you know,
And-
that's tough. But, you know, and I know every one of the board members is exactly the same. I got a whole different opinion of every one of them.
Right.
You know, because they really do marvelous work. They're all very intelligent, and, you know, it's a pleasure to see that.
Well, that's what we have found out in doing these interviews, that each one of you trustees, okay, are very dedicated. You know, you
Yep.
really do your homework, you do your research, you find out about contracts, you find about, you know, before making decisions, and it's just a joy to see.
Yep.
You know, very hopeful.
It's important.
Yes, it is, because we choose to run our own village, and we have to have the people on the board who will do that.
Yep.
And be dedicated to it. That's not for selfish reasons, you know, although that would be very difficult. They're not going to get away with much here.
That's true.
So I hear you have a dog?
I do.
Yes.
I have, his name is Snickers,
Okay.
and anybody who walks by my house knows him right away.
Right, right, okay.
Very protective of our home.
Right, okay.
And-
But I mean, he's a big dog, right?
No, he's 10 pounds
So he's,
of trouble.
they're the most protective, right? They're the most barking.
Yeah. You know what? If you're familiar with the song Hotel California
Oh, yes.
from
yes.
the Eagles, you know
Yes.
the line, you can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave? Well, that's Snickers. You can
Okay.
come into my house and he'll be fine, but when you go to leave, he'll attack you. So I call him the Hotel California.
Okay. Oh, that's cute. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the different personalities in the dogs. You know, my son has a dog, and you know, we never had dogs with the kids growing up, but and I didn't have a dog when I was growing up. But my son has had one. This is his second dog, and the difference in the personalities, they're so funny. They really are. I mean, I just enjoy it so much.
Well, when we first got Snickers, you know, and my daughter was, you know, we was still at home. We also had a cat
Oh.
named Oreo, and that was her. You know, it was, you know, she wanted the cat, and so we got it. And they got along well. They really did. But Snickers had a habit of going into the cat's toy box and taking out all his toys. And the cat used to sit up on the cat tree and look down at him, and, like, you know, you could tell he wasn't happy. So one night we go to bed, we picked up all the toys, we put them all away. The next morning when I got up, I went downstairs, and all the dog's toys were out of the box, all over the place.
The cat had fun getting even. Oh, that's
Amazing,
cute. Yeah.
amazing. They're really incredible
Right,
pets.
right. So tell me, what do you think you like the best about just living here in the village?
I love to be able to, on a hot summer day, get up and go to the pool,
Right.
and not have to worry about cleaning it and checking the chemicals,
Right,
and
right,
doing
yes.
that kind of stuff. I like to, when I can, if my shoulder and knees allow me to, go out on our golf courses and practice with my irons and
Okay.
do that. It's just, you know, it's just a lot of fun. I love to sometimes just sit in the back, have a glass of wine, and
Okay.
and relax. you
Very
know.
nice. Call me over.
Absolutely. You know, I didn't mention that I also have 2 kids.
Yes, you do. So tell me about your kids.
Yeah, my kids they're great. My son is he's a doctor of psychology. He works at Columbia Presbyterian Hospital for the psychiatric doctor's offices. And my daughter's a teacher, followed in her father's footsteps.
Okay.
She's got 2 master's degrees, one in special ed and one in administration. So, but right now she's ready to have her first child.
Oh, your first grandchild.
So
How exciting.
yes, it's going to be a boy.
Oh.
It's going to be Jason. We're going to call him JJ.
Okay.
So, you know, I'm thinking that she'll go back, you know,
Right,
for a
right.
while, but she may
You
eventually
never know.
just stay home, you know.
You
never-
just don't know.
yeah, you don't know. And
And it's their lives to do with. My daughter's a lawyer. She went to school, you know,
yeah,
a lot of money.
yes,
And after she had one child, and then she was pregnant with twins. She hasn't been back to the office since.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, Samantha's,
but everything is, you know, it's
My daughter
it's
Samantha's
wonderful.
very, very good with the kids. She's
Right.
She's just unbelievable, and her kids are funny. One of the kids, she had to. They had a kid transfer in, and he's a kindergarten student, and they didn't have the right placement for him, so she had to just have him in her classroom just for half an hour, you know.
Right.
And he was sitting there doing this thing, and you know, and he looked at her and he goes, "What's up with that belly?" So it's got hysterical. She's got a million stories like that.
Right.
With,
Oh,
with
yeah,
the
they're
kids.
funny. Yes. Tell me, I have a question for you.
Yes.
I don't know if you can answer or not. You said your son is a doctor of
Psychology.
psychology. Is that different than a psychiatrist?
Yes, a psychiatrist is a medical doctor.
That's a medical doctor,
A
right?
psychologist does the therapy.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was, but,
Yeah, so he's a clinical therapist,
okay.
licensed clinical therapist.
Yes.
You know, with a doctorate, and yeah, he works really hard. He sees a lot of people,
Yeah.
a lot of people, and he said that a lot of his patients are medical people.
Right.
You know, that really had trouble during COVID.
Oh, you know, there's this TV show now, The Pit, which is so popular. And Noah Wiley is the star, and he's head of the emergency room, and he keeps having, you know, these flashbacks
Yeah.
to COVID and so many people dying. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, it's so real.
Yeah, so
you know.
he says that, you know, the doctors and nurses, he says they're really struggling with it.
Right. Yes. Well, you must be very proud of your family there.
I am.
Yes.
They're both great kids. They never gave me an ounce of trouble,
Right.
ever. Although my son always, you know, he's very bright, and he always had a witty comeback. You know,
He wouldn't have been a true teenager.
no, I'm talking about as a young boy,
okay.
young kid, a little kid.
Yes.
He had some funny
Right.
lines.
Well, so what do you like the best? Oh, wait a minute. I hear you're a huge Yankee fan.
I am.
And Giants?
And Giants. I'm very happy with the draft for the Giants.
Yes.
I think they got some excellent players. Looking forward to this Coach Harbaugh doing a great job with them. So it's going to be an exciting season. Yankees are, you know, they're starting to come around a little bit. They had a rough start in the beginning of the season,
Right,
but
yeah.
they're coming around now. You know, it's just not like the Yankees of old, though. You know.
Well, I listen a lot, but I'm not a true professional athlete fan. You
Yeah.
know, I love going to my grandsons. I loved going to my son's games. You know, my granddaughters play. I'm always right there for them. But when it's on TV, I'm like, oh, okay. They're millionaires making lots of money. So, but I understand. I understand the concept of being such a fan. Really do. You know, I see my son, my husband, both of them were, you know, big fans. So.
Yeah, that's, you know, I've always loved the Yankees from when I was a little kid, but my mother was from the Bronx,
Oh,
so I had no
too.
choice.
You
And
had
she
to.
was a big Yankee fan.
Okay.
She and her sister used to be on the phone during the games, talking
Right,
about,
right.
you know, back and forth about the games.
Great.
Yeah.
So what is it about being a trustee that you like the best?
I like the fact that people feel comfortable enough to give me a call, you know, talk about some problems, and
Right.
and if I can, I try to intervene and try to get things done. That's happened a couple of times. My wife and I have, with this whole Xfinity changeover.
Right.
Some people were having trouble. My wife is also very good with that. She should have
Right.
she could have been a tech,
Right, yes.
an Xfinity tech. We went over to some homes and helped them set up their their TVs and
Right.
everything like that. So it just gives you a good feeling.
Good, good. So what else do you want our viewing public to know about you? Have we covered everything, or?
Just about. I mean, just like to tell them, I am very approachable.
Right.
I like when people will come over and ask a question, and
Right.
if I can answer, I will. If I can't, I'll tell them, no, I'm really not allowed to tell you that.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
it's, and just know that, I'm trying the hardest and trying to do the best I can for this village.
Right. And I understand, I liked what you said about the other trustees, that you have a new appreciation
Yep.
for who they are. And I really like the idea, not that everybody should agree on every matter, but that you can agree to disagree, you can, back each other, and
And
it's not a contentious
Right.
relationship.
And you know what? It's gotten to the point where very, very rarely we are in disagreement.
Right.
It's a great thing.
Yes,
We have a
yes.
lot of really good discussions, and we come to a lot of times a sensible answer, sensible
Right.
solution.
That gives a great deal of hope for our village,
It does.
because the contention and the disagreement is rampant in our country today.
Yes, it is.
Obviously,
Yes, it is.
But so you don't like to see it happen here where you
Nope.
live.
No, of course not.
Yeah. Well, it's been wonderful talking with you and getting to know you.
It's wonderful
Thank
talking
you
to you,
so
too.
much.
I'm very happy we did this.
Yes, me too. And thank you all for listening and watching. And we'll see you again soon.